All right. Welcome, everyone. It's Monday evening, and we are working on Chapter 9, One Small Habit from Practical Work on Self. I believe Bhavani is going to teach us this chapter for the week, but she's not here yet. So uh, maybe we can just deal with this as a group and read through the chapter and go through it. How does that sound to you guys?
I think
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
Yes, okay, thank you.
All right, so any of you guys wanna get this started? I am sharing my screen, yes?
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll get it started. As we struggle with the machine, beginning with one small habit, we can produce an alchemical fire in the machine's chemical factory, which will gradually transform our being. The functions of the mental, emotional, and motor centrums operate independently but in reciprocal passivity. Changes in one inevitably affecting the others. When one changes its activity, the other centrums correspondingly compensate for this change. Any intentional change in the motor centrum will produce a corresponding change in the moods and thoughts of the mental centrum. I'll pass.
Okay, I continue. Even though are non-phenomenal beings, again, even though as non-phenomenal beings, we have no direct will over the machine, at least in the beginning, we can enlist the mental centrum in the tail brain. A small exact change can produce corresponding changes in the ordinarily inaccessible monasteries of the reflective again, in the ordinarily inaccessible monasteries of the reflexive feeling and thinking centrums.
After a while, with repeated efforts, we can gain sufficient leverage in the machine to activate the higher centrums. In ordinary life, we never change our comfortable habitual postures and movements, and so nothing can happen outside the ordinary routine of the machine. Even if we wished intensely to change the habits of the human biological machine, long impartial observation is necessary to be able to categorize the habits which are presently operating in the machine. And I pass.
habits are so completely automatic that our non phenomenal attention is blind to them. We are not able to study the habits of the machine directly because when we exert our attention upon the machine wakes up a little and the habits disappear momentarily. The most difficult manifestations to observe are those tiny little unconscious habitual expressions of the motor centrum. The smaller they are, the harder they fall. To be able to gather data about the very smallest negative manifestations, those most automatic, we must receive help from outside because the machine cannot be trusted to give us correct information about itself. A work circle is useful for this because in the beginning we really cannot see the manifestations of our own machines with enough impartiality to categorize them and pass.
The habits of the motor centrum are so trivial that we may not be able to see them without special help. And for this, we must use a group of people engaged in similar work, who can see our machines with much more objectivity than we can ourselves. Naturally, they may miss one or two particularly revolting manifestations, but leave that for later. Sometimes an outside observer can watch and can catch us in an uncustomary posture and delineate it clearly to us, even considering our clouded vision. The whole life of the machine from beginning to end is a pathetic little habitual dance, something that just happens to us while we are busy making other plans. But if we begin a struggle to observe the habits of the machine, even if at first we are blind to them, starting with smaller ones and gradually overcoming bigger ones as the strength of our own attention increases and dominates the attention of the machine, we can produce in ourselves an alchemical fire which gradually can transform the inner self of the machine into an activated transformational apparatus. We must somehow learn how to keep this fire burning. Pass.
We can begin this process. Yeah. Sorry, David, are you reading?
Go ahead. No.
We can begin this process by concentrating on one small habit of posture, gesture, tone, mood, work, waking, sleeping, eating, tying shoes. Something small, some little unconscious habit which occurs several hundred times a day and which can serve as a little alarm clock, a reminding factor for our beginning work to awaken the machine. For instance, I know a person whose machine has a little habit of saying, "Is it ever?" a habit of which the source of attention within that machine is completely unaware. And her source of attention is unaware of this little habit precisely because it is a complete mechanicality. An unconscious habit which is so small, so insignificant, so automatic that it has become a seemingly natural part of the machine's repertoire. Yet anyone else can see and hear this little habit and recognize immediately that it is out of place. To others, it is a shock because to their machine, it is not a part of their own automatic repertoire. When her machine announces, "Is it ever?" she does not hear it, but others immediately see it as something unusual. I'll pass.
It is this invisibility of our own machine's habits which makes group work necessary. While we cannot see our own mechanicalities because they form a part of our view of the general rightness of the universe, To others, our habits are definitely out of place, therefore visible. In a group, we can help each other by suggesting little habits which can be used as what we could call cattle prods, electric ones used to direct cattle. I pass.
Objective observation of small habits of the machine which are invisible to our own vision is one useful function of a group. And in spite of all the discomforting factors inherent in working with a group, is one of those things we just cannot trust ourselves to see objectively enough to actually use. We should have no trouble whatever gleefully pointing them out in each other because our machines will undoubtedly find the unconscious habits of other machines extremely annoying. We might wish, because of our vanity and self love, to eliminate these bad habits which we discover in this exercise and to substitute good ones, by which we mean manifestations pleasing to everybody else and most of all to ourselves. But we must understand that a habit cannot be eliminated without substituting another one in its place. Nature abhors a vacuum and inevitably fills it with something similar to what was there in the first place. Something unwanted and possibly even worse may take its place. Something which may make us unable to remain in a work community. Yes.
Our new habits will be no better than the old because they are conceived in sleep and may even allow the machine to fall more deeply asleep than it was before. How fortunate we are to have one machine full of negative force and thousands of little unconscious mechanical habits. Whenever we happen to overhear the machine saying or performing something from this almost unlimited storehouse of mechanicalities, we can use the inevitable electric shock. However small the voltage and current is a cattle prod, providing us with just the amount of electrical force necessary to awaken the machine. Yes.
Now we have enough data to generate a list of all those annoying little repetitive mechanicalities of the machine, which could serve as cattle prods. And that's the end of the chapter.
So what does this all mean? Let's break it down. What would be an example of a small unconscious habit? Just doesn't have to be related to you, but anybody
You know what I mean?
like that.
Yeah. I had a friend who used to walk uh, ve- very peculiarly. He used to always bounce off the ground every time he used to take a step. And I wouldn't say it's unconscious because he did know about it, but he couldn't stop doing it. It was like a habitual thing.
Very common among like most of the sleeping machines is wiggling legs while talking, like anywhere they sit, they just wiggle their legs. It's very, very common. I have observed in like almost thousands of people. And they
Fidgeting.
even not like aware about that they are wiggling.
Yeah, nervous fidgeting.
Hmm? What did you say, Nikhil?
Nervous fidgeting.
Yeah, like,
Similar to what Swati was saying.
yeah.
Very, very strong information in the last part of this is that you cannot uh, you cannot think that you can fix, it's not the exact word, or renounce a habit without bringing, because it says nature abhors the vacuum. So the struggle has to have some kind of humorous mood, because we are instructed from a child uh, to make ourselves lovable and be nice, as good girls. And I think that is a construction of personality that we all somehow share, and probably is full of habits that not only makes us comfortable, but also protects us. So I laugh at it because we can, as Corey says, we cannot change what it is, but we can tend to like it or whatever.
Learn to like it. Yeah.
Learn to like it, yes.
So, what about this stuff that it's really hard for you to see your own little nervous small habit? Is that true?
Are you asking the group or?
Yeah. I'm asking everybody.
If I have to answer individually, I tend to be a controlled person. I think myself to be a controlled. I would say my habit is the one of explaining myself continually, my kind of mental chatter, you know? And I find that kind of habit sometimes I cannot control, as is this moment.
But Bernie, I think that's one of those habits that you noticed for yourself. But there are certain habits that you can't objectively observe in yourself, and which requires the necessity of a group where someone else can point out that that one habit or that one thing that you do or say
Yes,
that is so automatic
needed.
to
So
you that it is that is so habitual to you that it's almost automatic and you don't even notice that it's there. This
can
reminds
you
me.
can you point in my case
Well,
something that you see?
Well, I guess we never lived in a single physical location, so I guess I never got the opportunity to observe you or any of you guys. Uh, but I think this would require us living in a uh, in a common uh, space. This reminds me of when EJ had EJ used to live in a group and people used to live together uh, in the house, and I'm just imagining how difficult it might be for someone else to point out your habits, and you just getting annoyed every time.
Well, so so I have a friend who's he's a musician, he's a poet, very active, and whenever we go to dinner, he just kind of has normal eating habits and things. But when it gets to the dessert, he takes his spoon and like scrapes the spoon on the bowl, right? To try to get every last molecule of dessert,
That's me.
and uh, I don't have the courage to point that out to him because he seems so invested in getting one more little piece of ice cream. But it's enormously irritating to me. So, so do you mean like, can we? Well, first of all, like, can we identify a small habit that any of that either we have or that we notice about our fellow workers here? Bernie is saying one habit he has is he has to explain himself. Okay.
So I have like studied myself over like since last say 2 to 3 years, and I have observed that I am very much quick to jump to the conclusion without like I overread, I overlook, and I think something which my mind is saying, which is already there, and I try to put that whatever I see. Say, for example, somebody has put me a message, and the message is, say, for example, it's a proper message which communicates like, the in positive way they try to communicate. But if say I have a something like, friction with that person, then I would read the way my mind wants to read. And then after an hour or so, when I go back and check messages, and to my surprise, it would be the other way around. I immediately jump to conclusion. I don't know what's happening, but it's recently it started happening, but it's been like 2 to 3 years now.
Okay, so is that a mental habit, a physical habit, or emotional habit?
I think it involves all the three centers, because say message is physical, right? I'm reading the message, but then in my mind is active and it overlooks, and it's reading words in different way, and sometimes like so it's mental and physical, of course. And I think even emotional part is also playing a role. That say I'm upset with the person, then message will be very negative to me, even though the exact message which is written is not that much negative. Anything like say I'm working with like some people, and then even though it's not other person's fault, he's trying to explain, and I would like jump to conclusion that he's trying to blame on me or something like that.
Right. So,
All the centers involved, emotional, emotional, mental, and physical.
so you're like you have one small habit we'll consider this small for the moment, Swati, small, that you jump to conclusions to kind of protect yourself. Like somebody might say to you, "Good morning." And you say, "Well, what do you mean by that?" So, all right. Does anybody else have any small habit?
Yeah, I have one. Well, I think uh, from my observation, I've found that I am very impulsive when it comes to thinking or feeling or being emotional. For example, if I'm in my lab, uh, everything is going amazing. I'm happy with the test that I'm doing, and then something goes wrong, and I'm suddenly all nervous. Suddenly, I'm all afraid. Suddenly, I'm feeling all kinds of things, and I'm in between all that, and then within few minutes, oh, everything is calm down. Okay, I'm back to normal again. So, I keep on, switching between states and kind of impulsive sometimes.
Yeah, that's a little bit too big.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's too big. Like you have what is that habit you have about the chicken wings?
Oh,
Mhm.
chicken wings? I don't like barbecue sauce on my chicken wings.
I guess my it would be something like like the nervous movement of your leg. Like you say you're listening to somebody, you cross your leg, and then your foot starts going like that. Okay. Or you always adjust your glasses, or you always take your glasses off and clean them, or you fix your hair all the time, or you check your belt or whatever. I don't know.
Mhm.
They're so small that you can't notice them.
One thing that is coming to my mind is anytime when somebody enters the room, it any room that I'm in, I'm always uh, I'm shocked. There is a shock in my system, and I'm always reacting to that. Oh, somebody just came in here. Oh,
Yeah, but that's what about any physical? Think of like a physical something that you do.
I
uh,
would say my okay,
Go
okay.
ahead, Alka.
sorry, Alka,
It's
go
my
ahead.
posture and my posture. I'm not able to keep my posture straight.
Okay.
I
Like,
keep playing with my earlobes when I am sitting with someone talking, doing
okay,
anything.
that's a good one. That's a very good one. That's so small that it's meaningless, right? It has no meaning. But there it is. That's a good one.
Somebody said oh, Bernie said in the chat, Jaws all time in tension.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. Uh, but like the really good ones, like chewing with your mouth open. Which, is one of the great horrors of my life. Hmm. When I see people, we have this big health food store, Briar Patch, and I see people eating while they're shopping. And I consider that like utterly disgusting. I don't do anything like walk over and knock their hat off or anything, but so it'd be habits like that that you see in yourself.
This will be very hard to see
Yes.
unless your significant other points out to you and you get annoyed. I don't do that, and then finally you realize that you do it.
Well, that's one of
So
the critical reasons to get married. Okay. Is so somebody can point out your weaknesses.
Each minute.
Yeah, really irritates them. So what Nishant is saying is that it's really hard for us to self-observe in that way, right?
yeah,
He's right. So we have go ahead and take the chapter down, okay? The sharing down. So we, you know, most of us don't see each other because you turn your cameras off, but we hear your voices and how you respond. But is there something that you've observed maybe about Nishant, who's now turned his camera on, that maybe we, like when we talk about him when he's not there, those
I,
things.
wa- I that's my I want to
Yes,
be
I believe
in
you.
that group.
I believe that about you. And I really have to point to that one paragraph. How fortunate we are to have a sleeping machine full of negative force and thousands of little mechanical habits. Why is he saying that? Is he saying that, Elka?
Because there are thousands of these habits.
But why are we so fortunate? He
I
says,
think he's sarcastic. I think he's just being sarcastic.
no.
No,
No,
no. This
No,
is a
no.
tool.
no, no, no.
It's a
Yes,
tool.
exactly.
It's a source of beautiful energy. Like, if you really want to think that you're smart, and so you go like this, or you like this, or like Bernie's doing.
Like Nishant, like the boss posture.
Those are the ones because they're so kind of unnoticeable, but they are negative in the strict sense of the word negative manifestations. I mean, Swati going like this with her ear isn't negative, is it? Like, there's nothing other than it's probably really irritating for others. But when she's going like this, it's like a totally unconscious action. And if you can capture, that means that the machine is using energy to create that. We don't care why. I don't care why. That's low level psychology. But it's like, oh my gosh, I found something. Now what do you do with that? The first thing, of course, you do is you stop doing it. So now that people notice that, you're not going to do it anymore. Wrong answer. Okay. Maybe we can point stuff out about Nikhil. I mean, come on, look at this guy.
Go for it. Try me.
Michelle, of course, is hiding behind her. She actually might be gone, so we shouldn't say too much about her right now. Well, now that she's there, we won't say anything about her. If she leaves, we can start up again.
I've never seen Nishant in that relaxed position, I liked. I never seen him. I feel sympathetic.
Yeah. I think that's how I normally see him when he shows
I
up.
have seen him like that a few times.
Yeah, me too.
Either sometimes he's outside or he's there.
Yeah, usually I'm outside. I think that's why Rajan emphasized on this tense relax. Because tense relax will eventually open up all these
Got it. You got it.
Yeah,
habits
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
So
It
let's
takes
just
away a lot of nervous tension that builds into you.
so let's pick on Swati for a little while here, okay? Since she finally turned on her camera. We can bug her. So let's say that she has given us a good example of a small, unconscious mechanical habit, pushing her ears or grabbing her earlobes. Okay, let's say that that's actually real. She won't do it while she's talking to us because there it is. There it is. You're on mute.
Okay.
You're on mute.
You said,
Swati, you're on mute.
Doesn't matter. She
Sorry.
is.
So here is like I'm showing what I do. Like say there's a chair in the office or anywhere. So this my finger will keep playing with the earlobes. Nobody can notice that under my hair. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Now, okay, so let's just concentrate on that one, okay? Because of the bravery of sharing it. I mean, it's not a big, big, giant, horrible sin, but it's kind of a little embarrassing, right? Oh yeah, I do this. Okay. Now, what does the chapter say about that? Bernie, you brought it up. Anybody? What does the chapter say?
To replace it with another habit, like fill my
Replace
bladder.
it with another habit. How in the world would you do that?
Mechanically,
Hmm?
without knowing it's a mechanical reaction. I suppose. Yes.
But do we have to replace it? Can we not keep on going with the same habit but voluntarize it and uh, use it for study?
Well, that might be
That's
an option. I mean, our job here is to, as Nishant has said, free up this energy. Because once it's freed up, it's for our work. We are voyagers seeking self-reflection and presence. And stuff gets, kind of caught up in suddenly this energy is going way over here, right? What does this
yeah,
have to do with thinking or talking or nothing? But it's an energy drain. If you watch it very, very carefully, there may be like a moment of ever so slight tension. Maybe trying to figure out how something works or solve a certain coding problem or whatnot.
my only question, David, is, Um, when we have such big leakages, I mean, should we focus on the small ones first or
Yes.
big ones?
Let me tell you why. Okay. I
Okay.
figured this question would come up because we want to hit in American baseball. I don't know what it would be in cricket, but we want to hit a home run, right?
Sixer.
In fact, we really want to hit a grand slam home run.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't want these onesies and twosies.
That's right. Forget the onesies and twosies. Okay. Now here's my theory on that, and I'd be happy to discuss it with anybody. You're invading the territory of the machine with presence and attention. So that is the kind of our God-given right or God-given juice.
Mm.
And so here's this whole thing happening that's mechanical. It's very little, but you always say it's like you're saying there's a new sheriff in town.
Mm.
Now, it starts to get in because normally the machine controls everything, okay? Then some people wake up a little bit, go back to sleep. Wake up, go back to sleep. But as you work on yourself, something happens. And then the essential self starts to become a leader. So I think it's injecting freedom into that moment. Now, you might say, well, yeah, that's just a small thing. No, it isn't. It's like screaming to the machine, guess who's here, big boy? Okay. It's big message going out to the machine saying, this angelic wonder is now there. It reverberates through the machine. Maybe there's one little change that you have, and maybe that something gets modified there. But you're getting into the habit of bringing presence and attention to the inaccessible areas. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
I
good
can
point.
think these habits are like repeatedly going on several times, right? So we get more opportunities too.
Yeah. Then you're going to find the sister that goes with this. Okay. You're going to see this and you go, oh, yeah, well, you're there at the desk and you're working with somebody and you're going like this. You go, oh, wow, interesting. And then you're going to notice that you pick up your cup of coffee or your tea cup right at that moment or whatever it is. It starts to invade. Okay. It's an invasive particulate. And that's what we're trying to do. And we
I
can't
have
do.
an analogy for it.
Pardon?
I have an analogy for it. When I'm just thinking about this, I mean, there are dirtier ones, but I'm thinking that when you have a cat, like I have a street cat that visits my house, right? And I can keep on observing that cat. But if I have to kind of pet it, I'll have to start touching it, right? Start
Nice.
replacing her fear and anxiety with certain probably care and compassion and make her feel home. So it's probably about taming yourself through these little alterations. So what I've started doing is that every time she looks at me with puzzled eyes, I do this because I have these beads in my hand and they make a little sound, right? So I'm trying to establish a connection with her that whenever she's getting milk, she's getting this sound or whatever.
Okay, that's nice. That's very, very compassionate towards that cat. Yeah.
So another is, when you have like some pests infesting your uh some space in your house, there is one way of looking at it is just keep observing it. Another way is to just go and control it, right? So I
Yeah.
think the idea of replacing with a habit is a conscious act towards
Okay.
remodeling your center, whichever
Yeah.
center that habit is coming from.
Yeah, but you're not quite there yet. Okay. You're not quite at your little small mechanical habit. When ants come into my house, I just gently speak to them and tell them to go visit Denise. Seems to work. So, but there's going to be the best is a physical mechanicality. Like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Ooh. Rubbing your beard if you have a beard, that's like not uncommon for men, or adjusting this, or, fixing your hair, or there'll be little things, but it's like then you go, I always do that. I love the earlobe thing. That's a perfect example.
No, I was just giving analogies why to answer Nikhil's question on why is it important to replace the habits and not just
Got it. Thank you.
continue to watch them.
Yeah.
But yeah, fiddling with your fingers. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are plenty of habits like that.
Like the one example he gives in the chapter is this person that goes, to be sure, or whatever she says.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
But no one ever says that, right? No, I don't. But it's a mechanical habit, you know. You're doing something. When does that usually come up? And I don't want to make it psychological, but it's usually you've run out of an ability to explain something.
Yeah.
You lack the ability or clarity to explain, go, you know what I mean?
That's like your last resort. Everything else didn't work.
And the other person has no idea what you're talking about, goes, yeah, that happens to me too. So it's,
Some of these are like very good communication tools. Like if you are a salesperson, you know, so saying, you're already buying a yes from the person.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, she can join us. It's okay. Swati, it's fine. Hello,
Hello.
Hi.
my name's David. What's your name?
Maida.
Mila?
Mala, the garland, yeah.
Mala, hi. Greetings.
Hi.
Welcome to our little group here.
Mhm.
We're just a bunch of adults trying to figure out what to do with our lives. We don't know.
She started reading the chapter. So she was like, I have a question for the group.
Please,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would
you're
love to hear the
welcome.
question.
You're welcome to bring a question if you wish to. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, I thought we were all kids. You're saying we are adults.
Huh?
I thought we were all kids here.
You're an old guy, Nikhil. Old
Just
and
accept it.
on the downside, You can tell your mom if you want, and just she can tell us if you feel like it. Or we'd love to hear you ask it. You're welcome. That's all. You're certainly welcome. Yeah. Let's see. What do I know about Michelle Marie? Oh God. I see her.
Always smiling.
What's that? He's frozen.
Maybe the smile, yeah, that's an automatic thing. I used to always
Yeah.
Smile younger. No.
But like, for instance, a lot of people, when they laugh, they cover their mouth, right?
Yeah.
I always think I never quite understand it. So that's more the idea that when you laugh and you go like this, Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
it's a small mechanical habit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But see, you invade the province of the machine, which is it's the boss, because it's small little things. It's just going to do it. It's its territory. And you're going, I got something to say. Go ahead.
So are we saying that there are some useful mechanical habits and there are some distracting mechanical habits,
Yeah.
but even the useful ones should not be mechanical, right?
Well,
So
that's
for
a kind
example,
of
I'm saying,
generality, but yeah, but I mean, it's mechanically helpful when I drive a car that my legs and arms know what to do all the time. Okay. I don't want to disrupt that.
so are we saying that we should let some mechanical habits just be or drive more carefully? Because, EJ had just once spoken about driving and he said it is a good idea to just look back in the mirror, look a little around when you're driving, So probably he was trying to break that mechanicality while driving, and that's
I
why
think he's hoping that you'll be safe, that you actually pay attention and while you're driving. It's a
You also
complex.
say to watch for the other one that don't watch. So especially when you drive, to watch for the other one that doesn't pay attention.
so be more conscious about even the mechanical habits that serve you.
That always is a good idea. Okay. It's always a good idea. Nikhil, do you have to wear a tie when you go to the hospital?
The hospital.
Or
Nishant.
You mean Nishant?
I'm sorry, Nishant, do you have to wear a tie?
I used to, but not anymore. But
Yeah, I
yes, when
don't.
I was in the training, yes, we had to wear a tie.
Yeah. And as I've said before, I used to wear a tie when I would go to my CPA firm. And I would be amazed at how smart my hands are to be able to tie a tie.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I get out of the car and I'm getting out of the car and I have like maybe a bag in this hand, but then I want to put my phone there and then I have to I want the coffee. And so suddenly my hands are doing like 5 things at once. And I'm going, wow, it's pretty impressive.
Yes.
So it'd be things like playing with your beard when you unconsciously, the earlobe thing is very, very good. We all do these things. That's the point. It's okay that we do them. And we want to bring to that table a new observer. The observation, the sacred act of observation is quite beautiful, no matter where you put it. EJ is focusing on one area right now. And don't forget, he's also talking about community. Like if we all lived together, if we didn't kill each other within the first month, there might be a chance of real work. Yeah, I don't know who would survive.
Wow.
Swati, do you have a question for us?
No, I was thinking about discussing the second part, that after identifying the habits, the chapter is talking about we have to replace, right, with the new one.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about maybe Nishant Al Khan might be knowing about the Kabir Sahib's thing, right? The thread of moments, like, what do you call? Sumiran ki mala. Like Sumiran means like you are reciting his name. His means the absolute.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
Very good.
putting a presence there. So like one of the sect I
Amazing.
belong to, they give us a two-letter word and two words, like one during inhaling and one during exhaling, and that name, right? So say for example, I am repeating one particular thing 100 times a day. So that time I just remember that thing, like the remembering him or whatever we call. So we are putting small little threads, pieces of threads, and finally a day might come then when all the pieces of threads are attached 24/7.
They do, and they will. Okay. And the key for you is to not judge this, okay? Not judge it, but look at it as an opportunity. And you go,
Yeah.
okay, there we go. There it is. And maybe you start by observing it, watching it, being in wonder about it. Just so it's so interesting. And in the bed of interest like that is curiosity and then wonder. And wonder is very, very big. Very big.
Yes.
Yeah, but if we lived together, I can guarantee you we would have observations about 100%, 100%. Yeah.
So at least for convention, are you going to be there?
Me?
David? Yeah.
It depends on who's coming. Yeah.
I will be there, yeah.
Oh my God.
I am
Wow.
99% confirmed, but I have one Florida trip, so I just want to see how it would be at the airport, and then if confirmed, then I will plan for convention. My dad is really he really wants to see.
Is he going to come to the convention?
Yeah, both of my parents. Yeah, my
Okay.
mom,
Yeah.
my dad.
All right. And you have a ride from the airport, or you're going to rent a car probably?
Yeah, I will have two, right? Two flights. I was saying like that day, the
All right.
Portland and then from there. So I'm not sure how I will do that, but yeah, definitely I will arrange a. I mean, rent a.
It's not even a month away, right?
I'm sorry.
The convention is not even a month.
One
A
month
month.
now.
Yeah, 1 month.
Yeah,
No, isn't it the end of September?
Beginning of
Beginning
September.
of the September,
I think
end
it's the
of August.
August.
August
Labor Day.
29.
August?
Labor Day weekend, David.
Yeah, it's in August this year. It's not in September.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's fast. It's going fast.
Interesting.
August 29 to September 2.
Oh.
I'm just really scared of the 24-hour flight. Otherwise, I would have come.
He just said he can work with us at anywhere, any place that it doesn't have to be people come here. But you just so you know, it's just he can work with at every way it's needed. So there is no need to see him physically. But of course, it's welcome too. But just so you know, it's not something that will
Get you. I hear you, Michelle.
yeah, because he wanted you to make sure you don't worry if you don't make it, and that it's all okay. That it's not, his connection and how he works with others doesn't need any physicality.
Okay.
all right.
So why don't we just spend a week on the chapter thinking about it? And if we can identify any small habit that is there for you, that you just kind of always do. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And Swati, I'm glad your daughter was able to join us tonight.
He always joins, but we never share cameras. This is every story.
We're very delightful to see you, and you're always welcome. Okay?
Hmm.
All right, folks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.